People, this picture, we got it too. This picture is pure insanity, just pure insanity. We'll start with like the easy one, okay? So you're gonna go to Wanderer's leg, stub arm, okay? Just like a stub, like an arm, right? And then if you go up above, you get your April O'Neil, okay? But if you try to go up above again, right, past the April O'Neil, we're gonna get into what I like to call, I codename it Brown because, you know, Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, you know, so I codename it Brown, right? But this is why I'm a side person, okay, like a side. It's also messed up as, yes, insects that do get smashed definitely look like this whole entire little black piece, okay? And yes, you'll know that there's a border divider. I'm going to tell you, this is a creepy picture, guys. This picture is not very nice. It's very creepy. So there's a border divider, which is crazy because, you know, Fallen Star, she has a diaper kind of set, you know, right? This is a very creepy picture. There's legs, okay? Now, that's why it's such a creepy angle, because I like looking at the Nia perspective, because, yes, you can buy a statue if you want to. You can buy a statue of Nia, right? But when anybody does something that's crazy, you'll always notice their body changes in a certain way, their legs, everything, you know, their legs, the girth. It's a lot of scary things, right? So just a lot of scary things. Now, the crazy part, too, is there is definitely Banjo-Kazooie in here. Easily Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, you know, we got pirates from Banjo-Kazooie, right? We got a wall that's in Banjo-Kazooie. I always look at that wall. That wall, for some reason, that wall is just very creepy, right? It's a very creepy wall by Treasure Trove. Now, even when you look at Wanderer's wrist, okay, you're going to get a Z. All right, you're going to get a Z, but you're also going to you're going to start, because remember, we've added Banjo-Kazooie as a complex. You remember that there were all those chests? Yeah, and you had to flip into those chests. You had to flip into a chest, you know, flip into boobs, right? So you had to flip into some booty, some treasure, right? This picture creeps me out because, even if you're to go to his arm, okay, you're going to go to his arm. It's a pretty messed up picture. It's a very messed up picture. Side. Oh, wow, side. You know, like a side, right? Like, oh, man, a side, right? It doesn't help that Mythra is white and black. So Mythra is white and black. That kind of helps, but it doesn't help how creepy it is because it's insects, right? But around her plate, she has a sharp. So she's it's like a sharp. So this is right by his arm, right by Wanderer's arm. His shirt, his shoulder shirt, and the shape of it's crazy because Charizard is going to be coming. There's going to be a Charizard, okay? Now, look at white stuff in his hair, okay? Rather than it just being like fire, it's like white stuff in his hair and it's still making a foot. So it's going to be creamy white stuff, right? That's the whole thing behind Mythra. Now, Mythra's very crazy design because, okay, I really don't... the thing about this game is they don't want to show you Ray. Okay, there's no point of showing you, to this game, it does not want you to see Ray, but they like to use creative art, okay, just creative art of Mythra, she's the white and black, right? So let's cover white over the black, and that's why she gets black leggings in Super Smash Brothers, you know? If you're going to make a good fighter, you're going to do things that are, very creepy. You're going to do things that are, whoa. You're going to do things that are oh, okay, that's a lot of detail. I like the infusion. By the way, if you go down his arm, and you go to this 2 infusion that looks like a pair of legs, right? It looks like a pair of legs. It looks like it's almost connected as that's what I like probably most about it, is it looks like a vein. So it's like a vein that's connected. But like, if this one's a personal one, if people, humans, real humans, the humans watching my video, if you like get in a relationship with somebody, you're going to get, bumps. You're going to get all kinds of things if you get into it. If you choose to get in a relationship with a human, and you're going to get them around your sensitive areas, right? Now, why it's cramming that right there is pretty crazy. It brings us back to Bird, right? It brings us back to Splatoon gun. Brings us back to Ico. Of course, it brings us back to Ico. It's a crazy thing to view. It's like one of those, it has to have Yorda, because Yorda, see, the thing about Yorda is Yorda's white, and Yorda has 2 legs. Yorda has 2 legs, and she's like the primary of white, right? And, where's this one? This one's see, look, I just find it crazy. His capes, even his cape, is having another Yorda, but there's like, because remember, Yorda's always surrounded by shadows, right? But then if you choose to go up, that's an outline of tail, but they're covering with white, and they're giving it a head that almost looks like a human head. It's as much as I would like to look at this as a location, because Xenoblade does sing about a door. Yes, they do. They sing about doors, right? As much as I want to like look at that one, though, I like the shiver that's by it, though. I'm more about the shiver that's by it, because I know about creatures that have holes. There's creatures that have holes, so that's why I started with the April O'Neil. Remember, Persona's positioning of their characters, their legs, they can have all their personas having their legs, and they can have their positions, but they don't need to talk about like a stub arm, a cut off arm. They don't need to talk about any of that. They just need to, dance and have the pose in the air, right? That's the thing. It's like, why would we do that, right? Why? why would we even be like, oh, okay. Wanderer's wristband is very crazy, his other one, because we already showed the other one, but if you go to his other one, this one's talking about stuff I pay attention to a lot. Infused, like infused to your skin. Like, is that a wristband? I don't think that's a wristband. That's always my assumption every time with it, is it's like, I don't know. There's body paints, there's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of crazy things that go with that. This one, let me see. This is a side, like a side and a hover. That's a side and a hover. We're going back to his hair, so just go back to his hair, right? And there's the pointing out, which I laugh at that one. That one's a funny one. The one's pointing out, because like Magic the Gathering players are like, it's like, yo, dude, calm down a minute. Just calm down a minute, man. Just calm down, buddy. Because there's really cool stuff. The thing is, you want to make the shape of your product to be like Yorda, because Yorda is the coolest thing about Yorda is Yorda's a bird. There's a lot of birds in Magic the Gathering, by the way. There's kites that are in Magic the Gathering, okay? Wanderer definitely can be a kite. He can be a kite with his clothes, And, Magic the Gathering's been out for quite a while, so, yeah, it's like, just calm down, dude. Calm down, dude. The outline is still on his arm, too, which is cool. I like that the outline is there on the arm. That's why every time I try to find like a legs thing, I try to find anything on legs, And the reason a bird, okay, the reason, geez, I can't believe the bird's right next to a pair of legs. Pair of legs right next to the bird. Ishtar standing. Yeah, Ishtar standing right next to the Zelda bird, okay. Well, the Zelda bird's also talking about the tail, of course. So it's talking about tail. It's talking about pussy. I mean, tiny bird, that is kind of a mean, disgusting joke. That's the jokes that I like you to hear about, is because the video games are not as nice as you think they are. They're not even close to as nice as you think they are. They're like, oh, it's a tiny docile bird. It's a tiny docile bird. It's a pussy. You know, that bird's nothing but a pussy, and it's flying up on the tree. And also, it's kind of like a mean. It's kind of like a mean thing. You know, it's kind of like, you know, saying, haha, Zelda, you're a pussy, and she can't catch the bird and the bird flies away, which is very creepy. That's very creepy. There's many things behind that. That's what they love to do. They love to have like a little message like that, like a tiny message of that. And the reason is, if you have a message that is like that, you get a feel of like, oh, yeah, these secrets are crazy. Yeah, they're pretty brutal. You get the idea of like, oh, okay, well, I'm just screwed all together, you know? That it paints a picture. It paints a simple picture of telling you that these video game secrets, wow. I like how we got the leg that's right next to the bird is like, that's a pretty good wide legs. That's pretty good because I've been researching the color textures, okay, which is good. I'm researching color textures, and that's pretty dang good. I don't know if they'll exactly give me the right wide, you know, like the wide that's right, the right wide. I don't think they're going to do that because the shorts, like a pair of shorts or jeans, the chances of them doing that are like, you know, it's like, because that's like the size of the shorts, you know? So, but this is pretty good because I've done something like this before, got in a clip, and the boobs were popping out. And see, this is how easy it is. See, the legs are popping out of his head, okay? So legs are popping out of Wanderer's head is like a crazy way. I was also looking at the Persona Tactica, because Persona Tactica, they have instruments, right? You can play with somebody's hair, right? You can play with Wanderer's hair, right? You can play with his hair just like you can play with an instrument. Yep. And I'm trying to... ew, that's a drop of life coming out. That's so crazy with Mythra to have like an eye, like have a whole entire face on that. And, you know, your eyes would be like that if you were sat on fire. You know what I'm saying? If you were sat on fire, your eyes would definitely be like that. Nobody likes fire. Fire shows how weak a human is. That is one of the craziest things. Is anytime a human gets fire, that's when you're just like, oh well, yeah. Oh wow. Even Shin Megami Tensei has a V. Okay, Uni has eyes. I've already went into detail about Uni's eyes, okay? Shin Megami Tensei has a V for vengeance, right? And the V is a good one that they can use. And that's the thing. Not drawing perfect lines is actually beautiful art that people don't know about. Sometimes if you draw something and you don't have a straight line, does not mean that your art's going to be bad. No, you can make good art with non-straight lines, and you can make distortion. You can make the really crazy one, okay, which is a 1-2 separation, and they have to do this because they have two games. They don't have one game; they have two games. They have Demi Kids, and they have Kayu Yaku. Okay, so Kayu Yaku. So if I want to put the number 13 here, okay, and I want to put Ray here, I want to put Ray and 13 because it looks like a leg, you know. So if I want to put both of those in, I'm gonna have to be creative on it, right? And it just so happens that the little girl, right? The little girl has an eye, pocket eye, like for her pockets. So that's where our pocket monster stuff is, you know, pocket monsters. There's a common 3 right here and a 1. See, so now it just points you to the 1 and 3. which is pretty crazy because it's still looking like fire. And Xenoblade 3 has fire. There's a... that's most likely getting you into also, like, her legs are fire. She has fire legs when she transforms, Uni. They don't play around when they make a very good video game character. When they make a very good video game character, that's how they do it. And look, it's an easy way into space. So if you're deciding to Sonic the Hedgehog, easy way into Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 3. But it's also an easy way into space because there's a secret stage in video games that is about space. But it's kind of creepy, too, how you can make the design of a level. If you want to make the design of a level in a video game, you can make it like a butthole, which would make sense to why we would have an insect. You know what I'm saying? Why we'd have either an insect or, just having like the insect. So having the insect by a butthole, where's the, it's complete head spin. This is complete head spin. This is complete, this is crazy. This is like, whoa. It's like, his 3D talons are pretty, they're pretty messed up how a 3D talons, because you've seen, whether it be Disney or whether it be like, you've seen many different ways of how they can make this character. And I like it, though, looking at these 1-2 talons. There's a lot of talons on Wanderer's Leg, but there's one talon that looks like a foot and looks like a leg. So that's how you easily see how creepy Legs is. Legs is very creepy because Legs is not going to move in a proper way that you think Legs would move. Legs is going to move in a very creepy way. And, that's the point of trying, okay? So here's a slash by Wanderer's Head. I mean, it's slashing Wanderer's Head, right? Anytime you shave, yeah, whatever. Right, whatever, pretty crazy. Easy way to get to the bird, too, on the head. Because if you're trying to, like, look at the bird and you're trying to look at the tail and you're trying to look at all this, it's like there's a little 2 pair of legs near his head. He's got a bunch of legs. He's got the 3D one out, and then he's got the other one. But I like the posture on the Ray for the Butt Y, because it's a Butt Y4 kind of thing. But I like the posture on it, because the posture on it to me is like, because I remember Legs, and every time I remember Legs, I just remember Legs being like, yo, what's going on with this pair of legs? That's what I remember, how creepy it is. I remember how it's like that. And I also remember the one I love, because it's like, it's a point out. See, Shadow of the Colossus and Mario 64 want to both have the point out, and the point out is a very scary thing. So it's a very scary design element that they've worked with in video games, and it's kind of like pointing out. So it points out, okay? So it just does this thing where it points out, and then when it points out, they like to have it because they want to make creepy creatures. They want to make very scary creatures that you'll remember. And what they'll do is they'll have a hole, but they'll also have like something pointing out of the head, okay? And then they'll call the game Side Order, right? And then if you choose to finally, get past yourself, grow up a little bit, and accept what's going on, right? Then you'll be able to see a sharp foot. And you'll be like, oh, what's up? I gotta go listen to the Nelly music video, Sharp Shoe. And this one right here, too. Of course, we gotta go to the other leg, the leg it's the no pushover leg, okay? So here's the no pushover leg. which goes for loop. It's for loop. It's going back to the Demi Kid stuff, right? But yeah, it's really creepy stuff, dude. Sharp. Birds have sharp wings. You know, they have wings, so the wing's gonna be sharp. But like they don't have the bird does not have to have the whole foot thing. You know, does not have to have that. But now we got a hole. See what I'm saying? Since we accepted this tiny little demonic bird, now we got a hole and we got a pretty decent base color. But that's because we accepted it. If we didn't accept any of that, man, we're stupid. We're an idiot. Now, do you remember what Fallen Star did? See, this is gonna make the picture look really creepy. Do you remember what Fallen Star did? She was at a table. You remember what she did, right? Mm-hmm. She's at a table. She bent over. So, if you wanted to make a very scary creature, right? And you're wanting to make very scary angles, right? There's many different ways to do it, right? Make a seam. Seams are very creepy. I find seams very creepy. But hey, if you're gonna make money, you're gonna have to make some very good stuff, right? And I do always go with this perspective, okay? I go with this perspective. I always talk to you about the bents, because the bents are amazing. Bend is amazing. Toys, right? Because, you know, Zelda's going to be having toys in her new game, right? But I always use this perspective to tell people this. If they want to make good art in a video game, they're going to make good art in a video game, and they're going to crush your little dreams of you and your stupid paintings. That's how they're going to do a video game. And that's why it's like, oh, okay. Yep. And if they want to make something good, they're going to make something good. Because they really don't like it when you talk bad about their video games. It's pretty easy. So yes, the perspective I love also is my favorite one is like, it's a good one. Tippy toe around and try and find this dang secret, right? Because, if I really hated somebody and I didn't like somebody and I didn't like their opinions and I didn't like their ideas, right? I didn't like their ideas. I didn't like their opinions. I'd hide something from them. So guess what? The joke's on you. The joke's on you. Every time you're trying to talk about a video game, the joke's on you, buddy. The video game's just like doing its thing again. Oh, and if we want to look back at the little bird, right? I think it's cool when we summon Red Eyes Black Dragon.